God invites us to partner with Him in that struggle. To do that, we must overcome our fears. I had the privilege of working and traveling with Brother Andrew for 20 years. With typical Dutch bluntness, he often made statements to me like this: "I think we in the West, this is a personal confession, are cowards. Personal profit comes first. If that is at risk, we don't do anything." He referenced fellow countrymen who refused to stand against the German occupation and the deportation of Jews during World War II. There were 10 times as many people in Holland in the armed SS as there were in the resistance movement. He often challenged Christians around the world to become people of guts and courage and strong convictions, not counting our lives dear unto ourselves, if only we can fulfill the high calling of God in our lives. That is what this book is about. Fearless by Faith contains Brother Andrew's teaching over many years on spiritual conflict, drawing from the examples of 5 Old Testament figures. Jesus promised that each of his followers would experience trouble in this world. We most certainly do. Jesus also encouraged us, "Take heart, I have overcome the world." See John chapter 16, verse 33. That is a tremendous reason why we should not be afraid or fear less. Maybe we know that in theory, but in the midst of our reality, it does not seem to help much. God's sworn enemy does everything in his power to blind us and thwart God's plan for our lives. This devotional is designed to provide an antidote to fear. David, Elijah, Jonah, Moses, and Gideon are going to teach us the essentials of spiritual warfare and demonstrate how to fight and prevail. The Apostle Paul encourages us to learn from these great men. In Romans chapter 15, verse 4, it says, "For whatever was written in former days was written for our instruction, that through endurance and through the encouragement of the Scriptures we might have hope." What can these trainers, who lived some 3,000 years ago, possibly teach us today when we have such advanced knowledge and technology at our fingertips? Let's start with this observation. God placed these people in impossible situations. They were doomed to fail unless God showed up and did the miraculous. We do not like that. We would much prefer to have the world's best resources in our hands when we face opposition. God may use worldly tools, but his methods are definitely otherworldly. You will be surprised how relevant our 5 Old Testament teachers are. Sure, God called them to unique assignments. I doubt many of us will be called to lead 2 million people out of slavery, to preach to a huge major metropolis, or to challenge an entire pagan culture to a duel. But you never know. Dig deeper, and you will find that each of these warriors might truly understand our challenges today. While there is much these men can teach us, we need to listen for how the Holy Spirit would have us apply these lessons in our current circumstances and culture. We recommend, therefore, that you take your time listening to these teachings. Each devotional is short. You might choose to tackle just one per day. Take time to reflect and pray over the questions at the end of each one. The book is divided into 2 parts. The first part focuses on how we listen for God's instructions. Each warrior will provide 6 lessons. Part 2 concentrates on the spiritual battle. Again, each warrior provides 6 lessons. There will also be opportunities for you to articulate your own battle plan as you discern how God is uniquely calling you. Our fears are greatly diminished or even eliminated when we know what God has called us to do and understand that our conflicts belong to the Lord. Al Janssen. Meet your instructors. David, a rosy-cheeked warrior. We know the story. We learned it in Sunday school and enjoyed hearing it read from picture storybooks. It is the inspirational metaphor for the underdog sports team facing an undefeated opponent. It is the motivation for a start.